This is the last initial question I'll have, and we'll start taking questions from the audience in the aisles. But do you think that each of your publications has remained faithful to their origins?
On National Review?
Yes.
Yes, I think so. Well, we're the National Review is the youngster next to the New Republic and the Nation. I was reading something about Reconstruction, and I was reading about articles in the Nation, in the 1860s. So that's quite a history for a magazine. But yes, I think we have been faithful to it, and long may we wave.
I agree with Rick about National Review and about the Nation and about the New Republic. In fact, the journals of opinion, and I guess it's those three plus the Weekly Standard, and then there's another tier in a Commonweal and American Reason. Those are the ones that actually have stayed truest to their original vision, and those are the ones that have a viable business plan. Find an eccentric millionaire willing to pay the losses.
Well, look, I can tell you how we do it. It wasn't eccentric millionaires, it was fund appeals every year until we discovered cruises. And National Review pioneered cruises. And so our former publisher, Ed Capano, he told me, I run a travel agency with a magazine attached. But that's the only way we've ever been able to run in the black recently.
They put you in the black?
They have, yes. Well, of course, Obama really puts us in the black. Then the other side is in the White House, and everybody gets alarmed and they want to subscribe.
Well, I've been begging the New Yorker to have cruises.
UVA?
Oh, no. I went on a number, and then I said, I don't think I'll go on a number.
What?
I don't know, maybe you like boats. I just don't. I do like boats. I mean, you're caught.
I'm not sure I like
You can't get away. You'll be in line to get like a hamburger. It's like, why can't we balance the budget?
The New Yorker, my other magazine, the one I'm on now, I guess it's pretty faithful to its original vision. It's more political than it was at the beginning. And, it sort of started as pretending to be a humor magazine and then sneaking in the odd bit of seriousness. And then it became very solemn indeed in the Shawn era, in the middle years. And then it kind of went back a little bit under Tina Brown, a little more spunky and fun-loving. And now it's achieved the perfection of the golden mean. Now all we need is a few more ad pages.
I just have to throw in one of my favorite lines about a magazine that really enterprises from my years with Ross, about the first editor of the New Yorker. There was the Algonquin Club with all the wits of New York, and they would sometimes help Harold Ross out with the New Yorker, although kind of, grudgingly and condescendingly. And someone said to Harold Ross, the half-time help of wits is no better than the full-time help of half-wits. And Ross said, God knows I've had both kinds.
It's funny you mentioned that William Buckley was my undergraduate graduation speaker here at the University of Virginia. And the mics went out, so there were thousands of parents back, who paid thousands of dollars, much less than today, back on the lawn, straining to hear what William F. Buckley was saying, because those of us in the front who were graduating were just howling with laughter at one tweak after another. The man had an incredible sense of humor.
Buckley wrote for the New Yorker a few times. He wrote his yachting memoir, ran in the New Yorker, and I think William Shawn got kind of a kick out of scandalizing his base. Rick, do you know if Buckley got a little bit of a kick out of it? Did it scandalize his base to be in the New Yorker at all?
I don't think it's scandalized. I know Bill was proudest of that as his best journalistic assignment. He thought having the sailing books excerpted in the New Yorker was the thing he was most proud of. And he also said, though, that Mr. John said to him once in great exasperation, Mr. Buckley, You do not know the use of the comma.
Well, let's get some questions from our audience. If people with microphones can, we have someone in the second row here. What?
Yep. Will we come back here?
Yeah, come on back.
Over here.
If you can give us your name and direct a question to either or both.
My name is Robert Schultz, and I'm glad you started talking about partisanship and polarization. And it seems to me that the parties are being tyrannized by their bases. They're being pulled apart to their extremes that would seem to open the middle. Like when you're running football plays, right and left, and defense adjusts, and you can run one right up the middle. But no one seems to be able to run to the middle and win the game. So what's stopping people from doing that?
You mean a third party?
Well, either a third party or a centrist candidate who could poach from each.
Centrist candidate might happen, but in one of the major parties, but I think a major third party is just a non-starter in this country.
Yeah, the reason why we have this polarization, or there are quite a few reasons, but a big reason is that we have one-party districts. We have a lot of districts where the incumbent party wins by 80 or 90%, 70 or 80%. The Republicans have somewhat fewer of those than the Democrats, which is why they're a little overrepresented if you compare the popular vote for the House to the outcome. But as long as you have that, then the real electorate for a member of Congress is his own party. So that's, in that sense, beholden to the base. Yes, in my opinion, the problem has two parts. The smaller part is gerrymandering, where the districts are purposely created to be unwinnable by the other side. But even if you get rid of gerrymandering, you still have the problem of having a geographic basis for representation, which I think is one of an 18th century idea whose time has come and gone. Geography to me, is not a particularly relevant basis for representation. And our system represents areas. It doesn't represent people or political ideas. You know, there's no mechanism for that. It represents geographic areas. And that's the only thing it does really well. Constituent services. The member of Congress will represent the interests of that geographic district above all, certainly above his alleged principles. So I think the problem is embedded in a form of representation that exists now only in the Westminster Parliament in England and in what do you call them, the Anglo-settler states, Canada, former British colonies. I guess former British colonies, Canada, India, Jamaica, to a much lesser extent, Australia and New Zealand. They've actually moved away from this single-member winner-take-all system. I think the problem is embedded in the single-member district winner-take-all system.
And I just point out gerrymandering is named for Elbridge Gerry, who's one of the founding fathers. So it goes a long way. Massachusetts. Right.
Now it's just a fantastic science. Computers have made it possible. So what you have is, instead of the voters choosing their representatives, the representatives choose their voters.
Very effectively.